So I, you're all thinking, you're probably like, wait, why is he doing a trade recap the day after Thanksgiving? Well, I had some other work to get done, happened to have the chance to trade. Maybe shouldn't have, but still works. Everything always works as long as you follow your strategy. The only thing is obviously you want to evade these low liquidity days. So let's get straight into it, and I'm going to teach you guys exactly how I execute it so that you know how to do it. As per usual, all I ask is that you lock in for 5 minutes. It's not that hard. If you can't, you should just click off right now. Okay, then make me a little bit bigger because clearly your attention span's a little bit lower in general. So what do we have here? We looked at gold coming into the day. Well, I actually just woke up and I was in bed and I was like, okay, what do we have on gold? Daily time frame is bullish. We are expanding higher. What is the most obvious draw on liquidity here? This previous daily high, right? With that being said, I had other highs that were already being targeted. Okay, so I'll get into that. So the daily time frame is bullish, and we know that price wants to draw higher. So at this point, we scale down a little bit lower and figure that what's going on the low time frames. Now price has been pricing efficiently here, right? We already went over my loss that I took, I believe, on the previous trade. But what do we see here? We see that the 4-hour expanded, retraced, right? What do we see? We see 4-hour expansion, retrace. Now, beginning of the second phase of that expansion, right? So 4 hours also what? Bullish. Thank you. What do we always trade, guys? We trade time frame alignment. We want to make sure that the higher time frames are in our favor so that when we take these trades, we are most likely going to take profit because the market will naturally drift towards the overall direction that we're going to be trading in. Okay, so what do we see price do? This was the chart that I mainly marked up, but whatever. Okay, one moment. Do bear with me. Okay. So what do we see price do here, right? So the 4-hour broke, yes. What do we also notice here? We see that price comes in during London and takes out the Asian low. The Asian high is still intact. So coming into market open, what are we anticipating? The targeting of the Asian high and that previous daily high that we just talked about, right? But we can't trade this just yet. Why? Because the hourly structure is currently bearish. So we want to see an hourly flip-in structure, or at the very least a 15-minute flip-in structure before we can trade the expansionary move. Okay, so 15-minute was bullish, bullish, bullish. And I was in my head thinking, okay, I'd ideally like to see a flip-in structure and then a break of structure in the real direction. So we get exactly that at market open. We break structure down and we break it back up. So this was a pretty much liquidity grab. This is a fake move. This move was never going to happen. So with that being said, we see the break of structure, and at this point I'm starting to look for entries. Okay, but this break of structure doesn't happen until technically 9 a.m., which kind of means that the hourly was also bullish. So now what do we have here? Daily time frame bullish, 4-hour time frame bullish, 1-hour time frame bullish, 15-minute time frame bullish. So now what are we focusing on? Our focus is entering the market without getting stopped out. So we want to identify where liquidity lies, see liquidity get taken, and then be able to enter. So let's get straight into that. What are supreme areas that we can identify here? Fair value gap here, fair value gap here. We have an order block over here. So what do I do here? I look for equilibrium at the very least. So we draw equilibrium from here to here, and we are well beneath it. So what does that mean? We can start looking for trades. The 5 minutes currently bearish. We look for a 1-minute flip-in structure to invalidate the 5-minute bearishness. Okay. What does that mean? Because if the 1 minute's flipping, that likely means that the 5-minute will flip because of that 1-minute expansion that's starting on the low time frames. And because the higher time frames also in that direction, we're likely going to just continue to expand. So normally, I would trade this off of this break of structure, but because it was Friday, I was slightly on the safer side. I did. So with that being said, what happened? I waited for this fair value gap to get inversed. So price went too far. I couldn't enter here, but this would have been my ideal entry. Then I see this fair value gap here. Once I see price come into here and begin to expand again, now I start to say, okay, price will likely go off of here and continue to our overall take profit. So I traded off here and I let the Discord know this one is slightly risky just because we're executing off of a high. But in terms of expansion, we are in a discount. We are expanding higher. We are executing off of a fair value gap that's being validated, and price is showing signs of strength. With that being said, we got a very nice move, caught 3.5R, and I'll see you guys in the next one.